Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the H+H Sports Podcast. I am Tanner Fox, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host Jackson Mahomes. We are back with another episode. We have a lot going on.
Why do I have to be Jackson Mahomes? Like, come on now.
This is the card you were dealt, my friend.
You did me like that.
In this episode, moving on, in this next episode, we are talking about a lot of things. A lot of things in the football world. We have a ton of coaching carousel going on. It's literally in full swing as the regular season has officially ended. A lot of guys going in the transfer portal as the regular season has officially ended. We got conference championship weekend to talk about. How exciting is that? Whoop whoop. And then we have what else are we talking about? Transfer portal, as I already mentioned that. College football rankings, playoff rankings, transfer portal, coaching carousel, college football, the championship weekend, and also the NFL. Huge episode. This was my favorite episode we did last year. Just rambling about playoff scenarios and transfer portal, coaching hires, like my absolute favorite. And guess what we get to do on Sunday? React to the playoff ranking, the final playoff rankings, that was also my favorite. We got up super early just to react to the playoff rankings. That was fun. We will do that again on Sunday if we can, I think. No promesitos. But let's jump right into the episode. What I want to first do is talk about the playoff rankings that just came out a couple hours ago as we record this. Boom. They are right here. The playoff rankings that just came out today. Georgia stays at number 1. Everybody else in the top 6 moves up 1 because of the Ohio State loss. And what I don't get, right, is Ohio State being ranked over Texas and Alabama still. Now, you can say, like, hey, Ohio State was at 2. They shouldn't be dropped 6 spots all the way to 8. But I don't know. Do you think Ohio State should be over Texas and Alabama?
I could see why they did it, because they were 2 and they lost to number 3 by 6.
Yeah.
So I could see why they did it. And Alabama, and then you factor in that Alabama kind of struggled against Auburn, which we kind of expected, because Auburn always plays Alabama close, but
especially at home.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that probably factored into it.
I probably would put Texas at 6, put Ohio State at 7.
I think you could put Texas over Ohio State.
That's what I would do, just because Texas handled business on Friday. I think everything else is fine with these rankings. Like,
yeah,
I don't really have I don't have a problem with any of them. Like, the only thing I think I would have a problem with is if Liberty wasn't ranked, you know?
Yeah.
They barely are. Big 12-0. But Iowa is kind of low. Like, when you look at it, they got, like, LSU's over them, Arizona's over them, you know. But it is Iowa. But I also am partial to Iowa because I bullied them so much. They're the lowest ranked 10-2 team, which I guess is fair. I would probably make Louisville the lowest ranked 10-2 team. But we did say that Louisville was probably going to lose one of those games at the end. They almost lost to Miami. I think they went to overtime in that game, if I remember correctly. And then they lost to Kentucky and Devin Leary, which was very hard to do. Yeah, other than the I personally would put Texas over Ohio State right now. But other than that, I really don't have a problem with these rankings. Like if Florida State does make the playoffs, which it's looking like they will, if they can beat Louisville on Saturday, it's gonna be tough seeing them lose like 56-3 to Georgia. I'm sorry, Mike. I love you. But without Jordan Travis, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. If it was rough against Florida, it's gonna be rough against someone like Georgia or Michigan. Yeah, not much to say about the playoff rankings. I just wanted to see what your head was at about the whole Ohio State ranking. I think everything else looks fine.
Yeah, I think everything else is good. Everything else pretty much the same.
Yeah, I noticed it's not ranked in the AP poll. That's really funny. We have one vote to be in the top 25. One vote. Look at that. We're going places. Places is where we're going. Yeah. Rankings talk. I want to get to some coaching carousel talk and some portal talk. That's the best time of the freaking year. Some carousel. We saw a lot of guys get hired since the last pod. A lot.
There we go. Okay, so as of right now, and I could be wrong, I could be a little behind on some of these, but as of right now, I think San Diego State's job is still open.
I think they were talking about getting Sean Lewis. I got a notification from I think Thamel, however you say his name. He said they were, or I think they said they were looking to get Sean Lewis. I don't think it's confirmed.
Okay.
But it looks like that's who they're going after for the OC job, or for their head coaching job, the OC at Colorado.
Yeah, here it is right here. Sean Lewis expected hire at San Diego State.
Yeah, I like that. I like that hire. San Diego State has read really boring offenses in the past, even when they were good. And Sean Lewis, even though he was demoted, can run an offense for sure. Put him in a group of 5, and he'll lead the nation in yards per game.
Yeah. Arkansas has hired back
Bobby Petrino.
Bobby Petrino, yeah, my bad.
As the offensive coordinator. You would think he'd be the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Arkansas, man. What can you say?
There's such an unserious program. They hired back Petrino, right? Of all people to bring into your program, you brought back Bobby Petrino, and then you say you're also keeping Sam Pittman. No, I said I was completely for keeping Sam Pittman, but Arkansas is just funny. It's just so funny. I got that notification. They're looking to bring in Bobby Petrino as the OC.
Yeah. Mississippi State brought in Jeff Lebby from Oklahoma.
I love the hire. Absolutely love the hire. Mississippi State, or Dylan Gabriel confirmed, will be transferring to Mississippi State.
He can't transfer again, can he?
If JT Daniels can transfer as much as he has, then Dylan Gabriel's got some some gas left in the tank, bro. He can definitely fight for some eligibility. I'm just kidding. I love the hire. Jeff Levy has a really nice offense. Like Oklahoma's offense this year was crazy. They scored 70 twice.
He will have to go out and find a quarterback because Will Rogers did enter the portal.
He entered it so early. I think Will Rogers would have been great under Jeff Levy.
Yeah.
Whoever gets Will Rogers is most likely going to be good next year if they know how to use him. Elijah, I know I'm talking up this hire. It is not my fault if Mississippi State goes 3-9 next year. It is not my fault.
Did you see where Levy had posted like in 21 where when he's at Ole Miss, he posted a picture of his socks, said we run the SIP. And when he got hired, Lane Kiffin went back and retweeted it.
Full circle moment from Levy. They also the leaked picture of him and Arch Manning in Starksville.
That was the picture of him and Arch Manning in Oxford. Like
Oxford?
Yeah, people are falling for that. Or not Arch. Levy has on. It's an Ole Miss pullover in the picture.
Oh, okay. He was visiting Ole Miss.
Yeah, they're
okay. I guess that
they're recycling that photo.
That makes sense.
But I mean, nothing's out of the realm possibility with the transfer portal. Levy did recruit Arch Manning at Ole Miss. I don't know if he can learn to Mississippi State, but
I mean, I think we all kind of saw it coming a little bit when you said he was coming back.
Right.
I don't think Arch wants to sit for more than a year.
But Arch hasn't entered, has he?
No. But I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Yeah.
Just because maybe he does. Maybe he's okay with it, but I wouldn't think Arch Manning would want to sit for longer than a year.
I mean, just think what he could be at Mississippi State or like. I don't know. I just don't know if Mississippi State's like. I guess NIL it matters, but it really doesn't because they don't. I mean, he really don't need the.
No, and a Manning is the last person that needs money.
Yeah.
But it would be cool to see him go to Mississippi State under Levy. Because they would be pretty good. They would get a lot more people to come. Arch Manning goes, then people will follow.
It's a domino effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has Boise State hired a coach yet? I have no idea, to be honest with you.
I don't think so. But it is cool that they're still in the Mountain West Championship when they fired their coach when they were at 5-5.
They went 1-3 in non-conference.
Dog. The Boise is just out here. Let's fire our coach and then still make the Mountain West title game. At 7-5. And let's be favored to win the game.
The biggest hire so far, Texas A&M hired Mike Elko from Duke.
You did call this one. I personally thought it was going to be Jeff Traylor. Just because just culture, he's such a culture guy, and I think A&M needs kind of like a cultural reset because I don't think there was any culture at all. Everything was so dead with Jimbo there.
I think Elko's a good hire. Now they say I don't know what happened with Mark Stoops, and we probably will never hear the truth. One side says they backed out, and the other side says they backed out. So,
Yeah.
I think the most likely thing is that the Texas A&M boosters didn't like the hire, so they raised Kane, and Texas A&M went a different way.
Yeah, I mean, Elko's only been gone for a couple seasons.
Yeah, I don't, but I just don't think Stoops just turned the job down. Like, for no
I don't
extra
think so
money,
either.
for no extra money at Kentucky, he just said, "No, I'm gonna stay." I mean, I guess I can see it because like 8 wins at Kentucky and 8 wins at A&M are two different things. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, and also he's been there for a while. I think he he's gonna win you at least. He's gonna at least make you to a bowl game at this point in his coaching career, and that kind of job security is just like
yeah, that's what I'm
he's
saying.
probably
Like,
not gonna
he
get fired.
can go 7-5, 8-4 every year and at Kentucky and be killing. Like,
Cool.
if he does that at A&M, he's gonna be gone within 2 years. Now he might get $80 million
I know.
to do it, but
Who cares about job security when you get a 4-year, $120 million contract to win 7 games?
yeah,
No, but I can understand why he went back, because security is important to some people, and I think that was important to Mark Stoops.
yeah.
So who do you think will fill the Duke job?
The Duke job. I forgot that one. I
You
forgot
think
to
it'll
put that
be?
one on my list.
I would.
I forgot.
I kind of wish it was Stoops, because it would have been about who's going to fill the Kentucky job. But I think they're just going to hire Kevin Johns to be head coach. That would be my guess, is their OC, Kevin Johns, former
Yeah.
Tigers OC.
I was wondering why the name
Kevin
sounded
Johns.
familiar.
I think they're just going to do that, or just hire in-house. If it's not Johns, it'll be their DC, whatever.
I honestly don't know off the top of my head.
Could be a group of coach. If Rhett Lashley wants to, I mean, we're talking about these, like, we talked about Rhett Lashley for the A&M job, but I don't think Rhett Lashley would leave SMU for anything other than like an SEC job.
You can't. I mean,
Because they're
no, because they're going to the ACC. So
Yeah, they're going to the ACC, and you just can't talk about guys that, like, I mean, someone like Rhett Lashley to go to the ACC when SMU is probably going to be a better school to be at than Duke in football.
yeah, for sure.
Because a Power 5 Texas school is infinitely better than Duke.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Hands down.
So yeah, I don't think we can really talk about Rhett Lashley and coaching churches anymore, if like, unless it's an SEC or maybe like a Big 12 school, you know?
Yeah, I don't even see it being a Big 12 school. Like,
Yeah.
Michigan State hired Jonathan Smith from Morgan State.
It's not a better job right now. Like, as like surface level right at this second, it's not a better job. But once Oregon State's going to be an independent, it's you take the Big 10 job. We talked about this last week, I think.
We called this too. We didn't call him going to Michigan State, but we called him taking a job somewhere.
It's intriguing because you don't know what's going to happen to Oregon State.
Right. Yeah, you can't blame him.
Yeah, he just wanted to be in like a comfortable situation. You don't know if you stay at Oregon State, you don't know what's going to happen in the program. It's a historically bad program for football, and you're going to be an independent. Mm-hmm. Most likely. I don't know what they're going to do with the Pac-12, but you're most likely going to be an independent, with there only being two teams left in the conference.
Yeah, most likely. I think, did we talk about Northwestern hiring David Braun already?
No, but we
But we
implied
said,
that should have
that
happened.
should have happened. Yeah.
It happened hours after, or like the
After we
day
talked,
after.
after we talked about it, yeah. Houston fired Dana Holgerson.
I'm not sure if I like it.
The leading candidates, among the leading candidates, okay, there we go, are Jeff Traylor and Willie Fritz.
I don't know if I like this this fire because I mean I don't know. This team was not built for the Big 12. Like none of the Big 12 teams that came in did any good. None of them made a bowl game.
Yeah, I think maybe they were just looking for a reason to fire Dana.
That it had to be. I mean, I don't know. Who'd you say the candidates were? Elko or not Elko?
I've seen Jeff Traylor and Willie Fritz.
Traylor and Fritz. I think
I can see Traylor. I can see Traylor maybe doing that.
It would be kind of funny to see Jeff Traylor go there because he's played Houston the past 2 years.
It would be kind of funny, but I could see either one of these guys really taking it. Honestly, it's a better. I mean, it's arguably a better job.
It objectively is.
Maybe Tulane. I don't know.
Houston's a Big 12 school, Power 5.
Yeah, that's true.
Infinitely better.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know about infinitely, but it's objectively a better school.
I think it's closer with Tulane than it is UTSA, though, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, 3 years ago, this would be a no-brainer. But now that Tulane's good, we're kind of questioning a little bit. I don't know. I think whoever goes to Houston, I just thought of this because Tom Herman is the coach at FAU. Wouldn't it be funny if they brought him back after the way he left?
No, FAU is pretty bad, wasn't they?
I think so. But Herman was a great coach there at Houston. They won a New Year's Six Bowl while he was there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I think it'll probably be one of these two, though. Is if that's their two they're looking at really hard.
It would be cool to see Traylor get a Power 5 job.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna get some calls. It's just a matter of if he wants to move or not, you know. Indiana fired Tom Allen.
Whoa.
Ryan Silverfield among candidates for the job.
Bro, I would be I know we're like, oh my gosh, get him, but I would be happy for him if he got like a really good job. Because he is I like the guy, you know. God. we weren't like it was hard to watch our games sometimes, but we had a tremendous offense.
Yeah,
Top 10 offense in the country.
We had a great season. Like
9-3, your only 3 losses are to ranked teams.
One of which is number 9 in the country.
Yeah, and we only lost by 7. We lost by 3 or 2 or 3 to SMU. We lost by however much to Tulane, 9 or 10. Like combined at most 20 points loss to 3 ranked teams. Every other team combined 4 wins on the season, but We got it. We got 9 wins, so that's all that matters. I think if Silverfield does get a job, I'll be happy for him.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be Silverfield though. I just don't see it. I've seen like Jason Candle. Trying to think of some other. I don't have them on hand, but I'm trying to think of some other names that I saw on that list. Tom Herman, I think I saw on this list too.
Tom Herman's going to be a candidate for any job just because he's been around.
Dan Mullen was thrown out there, but he's not taking this job. Like,
do you think Dan Mullen goes anywhere?
I doubt it. No.
It would be cool. Like I said last week, it would if they recruit for him, it would be a great hire.
New Mexico fired Danny Gonzalez. Also, not a very shocking move.
I don't know any candidates for this school.
I don't either.
You're a New Mexico fan.
We're just gonna say that they fired him, and we'll let you know when they hire somebody.
I think any hire is an upgrade. If you can get somebody to move down to New Mexico and coach your football team, it's an upgrade.
Oregon State promoted defensive coordinator Trent Bray to their head coach.
It was kind of awkward for Jonathan Smith to leave. I get why he did, but like he's an Oregon State alumni. He like played quarterback for them. And like he just left.
He's like, you know what?
And we talked about that Fresno State coach he's coaching at his alma mater, and it would be like, oh,
I was like, who are we talking about that might leave their alma mater?
yeah, I think Fresno State's coach should be considered, unless he's like dead set on not leaving. Then I get it, but he's a great coach.
Syracuse hired Fran Brown, the DB coach from Georgia, as its head coach.
He recruits from them, right? Or he did?
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, he's getting put in New York, New Jersey. He's going to get all the Jersey kids. I mean, he's a great recruiter. I know some of these the last time, like, said this about we said this about Silverfield. We said this about like Jimbo. Like, recruiting doesn't always help you keep the job. But he's at Syracuse. Like, what are they expecting from the guy? Syracuse. Is that all of the coaching vacancies or fills?
He's I mean, my bad. I was reading up. Fran Brown's developed some NFL corners so far, or DBs. Keely Ringo, names like that.
Lewis Seen, Malachi Starks this year.
Yes, some very big names coming out of Georgia. Obviously, because that defense was generational a couple years ago. So, UTEP fired Dana Dimel.
That guy.
Don't have a candidate for this job either.
UTEP.
Yeah. Texas El Paso.
Their stadium's pretty cool.
Their stadium is cool, but I don't have a candidate for me. I'm a candidate, as far as I know. Then Duke also has a head coaching job open.
Yeah, I think Duke would do an inside hire just to put Kevin Johns or whoever their DC is. I think their defensive coordinator would probably get it with the way that he coached that defense this year. He deserves it.
Oklahoma promoted Seth Littrell and Joe John Finley to co-offensive coordinators.
I still don't get that. We talked about this last week. Like, how do you co-coordinate something?
No, it's my turn to call a play.
I want to call this play. And we're passing.
I don't know. But that's all I got for that. We can move on to the portal if you want.
Absolutely.
I can just kind of go through a little bit of this couple of names here that I'm reading off. You might know some of them, you might not. Wide receiver Chris Mitchell from FIU entered the portal. He had 1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns this season. He boasts a 468,000 NIL evaluation.
Wait, where did he go to school?
FIU.
FIU.
He's one of the top rated receivers in college football. He has over 600,000 followers on social media.
I know the North Texas receiver transferred, the one that was really good. I was so happy to see that.
Yeah,
he'd toe us up.
Chris Mitchell will easily be one of the top receivers in the portal so far.
Some SEC school is going to get him, and he's going to be the reason they win a playoff game or something.
It is going to be crazy seeing I was thinking about this today. With 12 teams, you're not going to get as many guys opting out of bowl games. You know what I mean?
Bowl games matter.
Not opting out of bowl games, but opting out of postseason games because the bowl games will still be the same.
I don't think many guys opt out of the playoff games.
Well, they don't. I'm saying, but most of the time, your 12 seed team is going to have players opt out, because they're in the Sugar Bowl and they're not going to play in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That year that Oklahoma and Florida played, I think Oklahoma killed Florida because Florida had everybody sit out, or everybody sat out of that game.
Yeah, that will be good for college. That will be good for college football. That people won't sit out or shouldn't sit out as much.
Yeah.
So that'll be good.
I agree.
Temple quarterback E.J. Warner entered the transfer portal. This is Kurt Warner's son.
Oh yeah, I saw that. He got whooped by Memphis and said, "I'm finished."
He threw for 6,100 yards and 41 touchdowns in 2 seasons with the Owls. He's a really good quarterback, I think, and he'll be.
I think he's a candidate for Mississippi State.
He could be.
I think he would be good for Mississippi State's offense.
I think he's a really good quarterback. At least what I've seen when he played against us. Which that don't mean much, but
anybody that played us played good.
Yeah, I think he's a solid quarterback, and he'll be a top player in the portal. We obviously know Will Rogers is also in the portal. We talked about that already. I couldn't even try to predict you any of these destinations for these players. I couldn't even.
I think it'd be cool to just talk about it, who, I told you, probably an SEC school is going to get Mitchell, the receiver, just because I don't know anything about him, but just his name alone is probably he's just going to get a lot of calls. He's probably going to go to a big school. Will Rogers is going to go to whoever. He'll probably get the Oregon.
I know some people are saying Michigan State for E.J. Warner is what I'm seeing right here.
Probably. It would be cool to see him go to Starkville, though. I think anybody for me is just going to be cool at Starkville because I like the way Jeff Lebby runs his offense.
Where did Kurt Warner go? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Northern Iowa.
Oh, he's not transferring there.
Imagine. He does a Patrick Baldwin.
USC safety. I can't. Is Marion? Zamarian?
Wow.
Why am
You
I
said
struggling?
the widest
Why am I,
possible pronunciation.
why am I
Asmorian?
Gordon plans to enter the transfer portal. I don't know why I struggle with his name so bad. Like,
I think everybody on the defensive side of the ball for USC should just leave. Fresh start.
he's a
Pick a name for yourself.
top 20 safety in the nation coming out of high school.
That would be cool.
This isn't portal news, but Braylon Allen entered the NFL draft.
As he should. Wisconsin was very disappointing this year.
I'm trying to find. I don't want to. I'm just going to do like. I'm trying to do just the big names here.
I know a lot of people enter the transfer portal every year. Did you say Will
Yeah, I
Howard?
know. Not yet. I haven't got there. UConn quarterback Zion Turner entered the portal. 3 years of eligibility remaining.
I think Will Howard in Mississippi State would be cool.
Yeah, here's the North Texas Jamori Macklin. 1,000 yards and 11 touchdowns this season.
Whoever gets him, he's gonna be really, really good.
Yeah,
Him and
here's
Chandler Morris were
Will
elite.
Howard. Possible destinations for Will Howard are Auburn, Kentucky, Louisville, Missouri, and Washington.
I think wherever he goes is going to be cool, but I think he's more of a runner, isn't he? I think he would be best served to go to somewhere like Auburn, because I don't know if it's just a Peyton Thorne thing, but you watch that Auburn Alabama game. Peyton Thorne ran so much, and it was such a crucial part of the way Auburn moved the football. I don't know if that's just a Peyton Thorne thing or if that's like Hugh Freeze, but it certainly wasn't Hugh Freeze when they had Chad Kelly. I mean, it was a statue. I don't know if that's a Hugh Freeze thing or if that's a Peyton Thorne thing, but if that is a big part of their offense, then I think Will Howard will probably be best served to go to Auburn. And I think it would be cool to see Auburn good again.
Yeah. Wake Forest starting quarterback Mitch Griffiths in the transfer portal.
He played pretty well this year.
Miami quarterback Tyler Van Dyke entered the transfer portal.
I don't blame the guy. He did get benched for the freshman, and he also sucked. And it's also Miami. He has every incentive to just leave.
Boise State wide receiver Elliott McAllister. 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns in 2 seasons for the Broncos. Ray Davis declared for the NFL draft.
Kentucky running back?
Yeah.
I think we could jump into Pick'ems, man. I don't know if there's any more big names in the portal.
Yeah, I'm trying to just scroll, and I don't really see Kansas State running back Trayshawn Ward.
He's in the portal?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Their whole backfield just left.
I'm trying to see if there was any more a couple days ago. Michigan State's whole offensive line entered the portal.
And I think all 3 of their quarterbacks left too, or 4.
Yeah, they did. Memphis interior offensive lineman Davion Carter entered the portal.
I hated that.
Vanderbilt's quarterback entered the portal.
I think both of them. And somehow their coach is still there.
Nate Johnson from Utah entered the portal.
I think he was like the first. One of the first.
Forgot about that. Max Johnson from A&M.
Doesn't his brother play too?
Max Johnson.
Max Johnson's brother doesn't his brother like a tight end?
I think so. That's got to be close to it. Like, yeah, I think that's most of them.
Ready to jump straight into the pick'ems. Ready to pick every single one of these conference title games, and I'm ready to be wrong about every single one of them.
Let me share my screen real quick. Let's call up. I'll pick them here. Let's start with New Mexico State at number 25.
Now let's see how we did. Let's see how we did last
Oh
week.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to see how
My bad.
final week of the season.
So I posted the best record of the season so far.
Oh boy,
21-4. While Tanner went 16-9.
wow.
Yeah, I had a week. For sure.
Did I actually pick Auburn?
You did. You actually did.
I wow. All right. I love that.
So yeah, I mean, I had a week for sure.
Oh boy.
So
That's what I
we
get
got
for trying to
1,
pick
2,
against Iowa.
3. We got 10 games this week.
Let's
go
go.
10-0.
We're not going to. Conference championship week is always a doozy for sure.
So, why did I do that? Here we go.
I'm itching to pick some upsets, baby.
New Mexico State at number 25, Liberty.
I'm going with New Mexico State. You're telling me the team that beat Auburn in Jordan Hare, New Mexico State beat them by more points than Alabama did? New State has that dog. That absolute dog. Give me NMSU to be Conference USA champions.
Liberty's favored by 10 in this game. I'm gonna go with the favorite and go with Liberty.
Boo.
This is it like at Liberty, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Lynchburg, Virginia.
On Friday night. Number 5, Oregon.
Biggest game of the season.
Versus number 3, Washington. And Liberty is
Oregon's favored by 10 in this game. 9.5 to be exact. But I don't know why Oregon's favored by so much. I do get it though, but Oregon's been like arguably the most dominant team in the entire country this year. But Washington is coming off such a good win in the Apple Cup. And they're going to ride that momentum. They're going to ride that momentum. They're going to ride that momentum into a Pac-12 championship. I love Oregon as much as the next guy, but I'm going with Washington because Michael, big Penix energy, is going to get it done. He's going to be invited to New York. He's not going to win, but he's going to be invited to New York, and Washington's going to have a good time and roll into the college football playoff.
So I had a dream last night that this game went into 9 overtimes.
9.
Now I woke up before I could see who won, which isn't great for my pick'em here. So I don't know who to pick. I don't know who.
You didn't even dream a winner.
I didn't even dream a winner. So I'm gonna go Oregon. I just think Oregon's a better team. and Oregon should have won the first
I
time
agree with
around.
that.
I'm gonna go Oregon here because I got that theory where if I pick against you, I'll get them all right.
It's a valid
Um,
theory.
no, I think Oregon's a better team, and I think Oregon's gotten a lot better since that last matchup. Washington and Oregon should have won that. I mean, they're a field goal kick a couple inches the wrong way.
Yeah, they were a missed field goal away from being 12-0. Just the difference one play can make to change your entire season. Yeah, I'm still gonna go with Washington though. Washington probably played in a one-score game in every game for the last like 5 or 6 games of the year. It seemed like they were all great wins, and they're obviously 12-0, which is pretty crazy. I'm still gonna go with Washington.
I'm gonna go with Oregon.
Stadium.
I'm gonna go with Oregon in this game. Number 18, Oklahoma State travels to take on, or not travels. Both of them are traveling. Faces number 7, Texas.
I'm gonna go with Texas by a billion.
I'm gonna go Texas
And
too.
have you seen Alan Bowman's stat line?
I have not.
This guy, quote unquote, led his team to the conference title game, and this man has 2,800 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 11 picks. He's got them prime Ryan Tannehill numbers. Prime midseason Ryan Tannehill numbers.
Miami of Ohio playing Toledo for the MAC championship.
I was worried you were going to keep taking dramatic pauses. I'm going to go with Toledo. Toledo's 11-1, man. Like, Toledo is legit. I think Miami of Ohio is legit too, but they lost to Miami, so I can't really trust them.
I'm gonna go Toledo too. Right there with you. Toledo's 11-1. Boise State versus UNLV for the Mountain West Championship.
I'm gonna go with UNLV. UNLV gets the Mountain West title.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree.
How
You're
about
taking my picks. You're taking my picks.
I've won a few of those in my NCAA 14 days.
SMU versus at Tulane for the American Athletic Conference Championship.
I feel so bad for SMU, man, because Preston Stone, I heard he's gonna be out. He's gonna be out for the year, and he was one of the main catalysts of that.
I'm gonna go Tulane here.
The reason that offense was so good. I'm gonna go Tulane too. I probably still would have picked Tulane even if Preston Stone did play, but especially now that Preston Stone's out, of course I'm picking Tulane.
Yeah, if Preston Stone would have played you, I might would have picked SMU. I would have considered it more. But without him, I think Tulane's too much.
Yeah, Tulane's really, really good.
Appalachian State and Troy for the Sun Belt Championship.
Should have been James Madison. Should have been. I'm gonna go with App State. App State captures the crown.
I'm gonna go Troy. I'm gonna go Troy. Michigan and Iowa for the Big Ten Championship. Iowa will have to play the best game in program history if they want to win a Big Ten championship this year.
I think if any team is going to give a team like Michigan a run for their money, a little bang their buck, it's gonna be the gosh darn Iowa Hawkeyes. Now, I'm not going to say Michigan's winning, or I'm not going to say Iowa's winning, but I will gosh darn cash the under and cover the spread.
Over under in the game is 35.5.
For a Michigan game. It's
Bro,
because
the over under in the Iowa Nebraska game last week
lowest of all time.
Was 25.5.
25.5. Even Vegas was like, dude, you guys both can't score 2 touchdowns. Like it's gotta be one or the other.
And they were right. They were right. I'm going Michigan. I'm sure you are too, as I'm typing it in.
Yes. I'm very my boys at Iowa.
Number 14, Louisville, playing Florida State for the ACC championship.
I'm gonna go with Florida State. I think Louisville is very fraudulent.
Yeah, I do too. So I'm gonna go Florida State too.
Louisville seems like a team that would fold like a cheap tent under this kind of pressure.
Okay, so I've heard a little chatter about this, and I want to get your opinion. If is there a chance undefeated Florida State gets left out because of their quarterback situation?
I don't think it should happen, but I think it might.
Just like if Oregon were to win and Texas were to win.
Yeah, but like imagine being like
if Alabama, Texas, and Oregon won. Who gets in? It would be Michigan at 1, Oregon at 2.
I think so, probably, because if you put in Texas or if you put in Alabama, you have to put in Texas.
So then does
So
Florida State?
It would probably be.
Does Florida State still get a slot there? Does Florida State get 3?
I don't know.
The committee's hoping the right teams. The committee's just hoping the favorites win this week.
Like I don't. I don't know. I don't like. I think it might happen, but I hope it doesn't, because that's just. It's not like all those like seniors and defensive players' fault, you know.
Yeah.
Like those guys that know that they can make an impact and go out and win a playoff game, you know, even though because of their quarterback, you know.
Yeah.
I just don't think that would be very fair. And they've literally done everything that they could do.
Yeah, it just doesn't help them that their best wins is LSU, and then their second best win is unranked Clemson, and their third best win would be Louisville.
Yeah, it doesn't really help them out.
Anyways, the granddaddy of them all. Probably the biggest, the one with the most playoff implications. Number 1 Georgia versus number 8 Alabama in the SEC championship.
I think Oregon Washington is more, because that's pretty much a win in your in game.
Yeah.
That's pretty much you're winning you're in. That's what that is.
I don't know because if Alabama wins, I could see the committee maybe saying we're taking a 1-loss Bama over a 1-loss Oregon.
Yeah, but it's the
because you
whole
because
Texas has to get in too. If Texas loses, it makes it
yeah,
so much more easier for Alabama to get in because they
yeah,
don't
for
have to worry
sure.
about putting Texas in front of Alabama. So if Texas loses,
And then there's
and
also the possibility.
if Texas loses and Alabama wins, I think Alabama gets in at 4. I don't think
Yeah,
there's
and
any.
like
I don't think there's any reason that maybe 3,
yeah, I'm
and
just
then
saying, like
Georgia might still get in at 4.
if it comes down to one loss Bama and one loss Oregon, even if Oregon's a conference champion, which they both will be, I think Alabama might get in, like because they're gonna look at schedules and they're gonna say that the SEC is a tougher schedule, which it probably is.
Yeah, but Oregon was killing everyone outside of Washington and Texas Tech.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting for sure.
Okay, well, what about this? This scenario that I just mentioned. If Texas loses and Alabama wins, do you think Georgia still gets in?
I don't know.
You
If Alabama wins, I
think
think
Georgia still gets in at like 4 and
maybe,
Bama gets
but
like the 3?
I don't see the SEC getting 2 teams in here. I don't.
So you think Georgia's out if they lose?
I don't know. I mean, I think the SEC gets 1, if any. If like if the dominoes fall right, Alabama could win, and the SEC we can get 1 team in.
Yeah, that would be rather insane. Has that happened?
I don't think so. I think the SEC's had a team in every year, which I doubt. I don't think the committee would do that because like I think the SEC is like gonna draw the most money, so I think they'd find a way to get an SEC team in there. Probably sneak Georgia in over Florida State.
That would cause such an outrage. Such an outrage.
Well, we've seen them do crazier.
Undefeated conference champion Florida State gets out because of a one-loss non-conference champion Georgia. That would be the reactions to that would be hilarious. I
I'm
would feel
not.
so
I,
bad
I'm
for
just.
Florida State.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's definitely possible.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna look at resumes. They're gonna look at the court. They're gonna look at injuries. They're gonna look at all that crap. So you know. Anyways, the
I
SEC
hope.
championship.
I hope. I'm gonna say this first. I really hope it's like straight pure chaos. Like you have like 6 or 7 teams that can get in, and the committee just has to pick 4.
Regardless, I think what we should do is after Saturday, before the rankings come out Sunday, me and you should put out our top 10 or top 8 or whatever you want to call it on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We can do separate or we could get together and do them. I don't care.
No, we have to do separate.
Sounds good to me.
More clicks. And there's always a draw for comparison. SEC championship. Alabama's been amazing since they lost to Texas. With the exception to the Auburn game.
I don't really believe that a lot. I mean,
It's hard. It's hard to weigh that game. At first glance, you look at, you just pick Georgia. Georgia hasn't lost in 2 years.
Here's a fun fact for you. Georgia has never beaten Alabama in the SEC championship.
And Georgia's last loss was this game 2 years ago to Alabama.
I'm going to go Alabama.
You're gonna go with Alabama?
I'm gonna go Alabama.
Georgia has played very scary football recently. They're on some kind of streak where they've let their opponent score an opening drive touchdown in the first drive of the game for however many weeks. Their formula is just start slow and then, eventually catch up and win the game. And you can get away with that against teams like Georgia Tech, who you almost blew the game to.
I don't know
You
why.
can get away with
why?
it.
Why did Georgia Tech onside kick it with like 5 minutes left?
I have no idea. That's why they're as bad as they are.
Like you had it like why would you want to give Georgia a short field when your defense has been playing pretty solid all night? Like, yeah, let's give them the ball to 50.
What I want to look back at too is that Kentucky game. Do you remember the Kentucky game against Georgia? Georgia shot themselves in the foot so many times, and Kentucky just could not take advantage of it. They were moving the ball, but it was either turnovers, bad playing, unforced error, like bad penalties.
Devin Leary just missing every
Devin
throw,
Leary,
drop back and through.
Devin Leary being Devin Leary. Georgia cannot get away with that against Alabama. If Georgia is giving Alabama opportunities to score and run away with the game, Alabama will take advantage of that. And Georgia has played like that a lot the past recent weeks. Maybe not against Tennessee, but they did do their thing where they allowed the opening drive touchdown.
They did that.
Tennessee scored on one play.
They did that in the first half versus Ole Miss.
Yeah, in the first quarter against Ole Miss, it looked like Ole Miss was probably had a shot to win the game, and then they beat them by like 40.
Yeah, they
But
did it against Missouri.
Georgia can't do that against Alabama.
They started slow against Vanderbilt.
Technically.
Well, it was 7-7 at the end of the first quarter.
What I'm trying to say is Georgia cannot do that against Alabama. Alabama will take advantage of that and run away with it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm not saying Georgia needs to start fast, but they certainly can't let it get too out of hand, because that's what Georgia does. If they kick the ball off, they're probably going to let up a 7. But the trend is, though,
the guy on the other sideline has been here a time or two.
Yeah, Saban's played a couple of SEC championships in his day. A few of them being to Kirby Smart as well. And I understand how well Carson Beck has played recently. Carson Beck, in any other year, would probably be invited to New York with how good he's played. But he hasn't played a team as good as Alabama all year. Even with the sudden rankings of teams that they have had on their schedule, it still wasn't a crazy good schedule.
Right.
It didn't start getting really good until the last 4 games of the year. Georgia has not played a team like Alabama all year. A team so good. And Carson Beck is prone to just throwing the football to the other team. And Alabama's got really good ball hawking players in the secondary. All that to say, I'm gonna pick Georgia, because Georgia's found a way to win every single week. I say that like they've just been, down by a lot and they're dealing with injuries and stuff. But even with the slow starts, they just kill people. Or they If they do that against Alabama, it will be interesting to see how Alabama responds to that. If they respond how I normally think they would, a Saban-led team is going to take advantage of that and run away with the game. But who knows? I think the most pure chaos win would be Alabama winning. Because if whoever wins the Oregon-Washington game is getting in the playoff, the Pac-12 is going to have a representative. If Texas loses, they're out. If FSU loses, they're out. So I think the most pure chaos outcome, regardless of everything else, would be if Alabama beats Georgia. Because it's the dilemma if Georgia loses, do you keep them in?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's tough. I'm curious to see how that plays out.
This is probably the most chaotic it's been on Conference Championship weekend.
Yeah, I'm
if
curious
everybody wins, if everybody that's supposed to win wins, we have a good idea who it's going to be, but we don't at all if some of them lose, which usually does happen.
Once Iowa beats Michigan, it's going to shake everything up.
Do you think Michigan is out if they lose?
100%. If they lose to Iowa, they're out.
Think if
put Iowa in.
Put Iowa in. But Iowa probably snags a game if they get in. Just pure grit alone. Breaking Iowa wins.
Over in a playoff game being 20.5.
Can you imagine a Georgia-Iowa playoff game? The over-under would be 14. That would be funny. That will conclude this week's episode, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you guys watching. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Apple Podcasts. Follow us wherever you guys get your podcast. We are there. Trust me. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so you guys never miss when we upload an episode, and turn on post notifications. We will see you guys next week or Sunday for the final ranking show. Last week before the final rankings are put out, before we know who's going to be in the playoff.
And we'll know all the bowl games.
And we'll know every single bowl game, man. Next week, I think we'll pick every single bowl game, right? Do you want to do that?
We'll either do it that way or just pick them week by week. You know what I mean? So we can just.
We could, and then eventually we will have picked every bowl game.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out how we're gonna do it.
Yeah, but for now, we have conference championship to look forward to. And pure chaos in the college football playoff awaits. We appreciate you guys watching. We appreciate you guys listening, and we will see you guys next week. Peace out.